so get out there and enjoy zero gravity.
Welcome to NBA 2K TV and Season 6, Zero Gravity.
Yes, we have so much to cover this week, so prepare yourself for a ton of space puns. Get it?
Hey, dial tone, and as I can.
Hi everyone, time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and we've got Steve Smith and Greg Anthony at the table with me. And the fourth member of our crew, David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. Now let's take a look at some of the numbers for Robert Covington.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missing.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Suns finally broke a decade-long playoff drought. Devin Booker says it's been a long time coming. Basketball and life relate to each other, and that's how I grew up. It's through basketball. I kept my head down, kept working, and it finally paid off. Kevin, is that deep enough for you?
Yeah, I love it, and I love that team. David, thank you. 2 defensive-minded teams, Steve, in the building tonight. These teams are so good, aren't they, at getting stops?
They are. Points will be hard to come by. Both teams give maximum effort on the defensive end, and that's hard to do night after night.
And the Clippers starting 5. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Post-tandem for him, Morris and Zubac. And it's Batum in at the 3 spot. And for Phoenix, up it forward, they'll have Bridges and Crowder. The star backcourt of Paul and Booker are out there. And it's Ayton in at the 5. Jackson kicks to George. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time.
He doesn't need much time to get his shot off. Paul George is a dependable catch-and-shoot option.
Ayton, and they come right back with their own three-point.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
How often do we see this these days? Clubs answering each other from range.
And George gets it to go.
Facing up from mid-range, George could have tried to drive, but takes what the defense gives him.
Here's Ayton. Rebounded by Jackson. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Los Angeles. Ayton is a player who, Greg, occasionally shoots a three, but it's still a developing part of his game.
Yeah, you know, not the best numbers from outside. Does it to keep teams honest, but it's a far-fetched to say he can stretch a defense.
Crowder a screen on George. Booker with it. George picks him up. For three, Bridges trains the three-pointer.
Sweet find there by Booker. All eyes on him with the ball, and Devin understands that. Has a nice feel for giving up the rock.
George against Booker. Over to the left wing. Shot clock at 6. From the stripe. And it's Phoenix with the rebound.
You expect him to make that, especially from that distance.
Crowder the pass to Paul. And Booker kicks to Bridges. It's Crowder on the wing. Another three for Phoenix.
This has been Crowder's role for a while now. Often shoots more three-pointers than two-pointers.
Here's George. The 9-footer's on the mark. George has got 7.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
It makes sense, right? You're trying to get off to a fast start, and he can help with that.
Here's Ayton, and Ayton throws it down.
Superb vision and decision by Jay Crowder. Rotating the ball, executing this offensively, flawless.
Jackson against Paul. Now here's Jackson. He's guarded closely. The pass to Zubats. Bridges with the steal. Booker finds Bridges. Back to Booker. Ball's knocked loose. Crowder the pass to Booker. Ayton a screen on Batum. On the wing, Bridges. Ayton trying to break free. And there's Bridges on the assist by Booker. Booker's got 3 assists now in this one. Booker against George. And no good that time. Good D by Booker. Paul kicks to Crowder. Kicks it out to Booker. Back to Crowder. Count the basket. Crowder's got his second bucket.
He's so strong. Jay Crowder overcoming physical defense with great power and body control.
Ladies and gentlemen, your son's dancers.
Phoenix with a whole new group on the floor. And let's use this break to bring up the top scoring teams in the league so far this season. These are the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. The Suns 5th.
And how about the year they've had offensively? This is a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Always fun to watch them play.
Clippers trail by 7. Here's Powell, coming off a solid outing against Phoenix. To end the run.
And as good as his offense has been, Norman Powell's calling card since he entered the league is his defense.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for Phoenix.
They didn't need any time to warm up from long range today. Their three-point shooting has been terrific in the first half.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy with all those assists.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, every team is looking for guys like Norman Powell, an explosive athlete who is relentless, and he can shoot the ball.
And so Powell nails both of them. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Phoenix Suns.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
Leading by 5.
2 minutes.
Payne in the post, and he makes good on the layup. And Smitty, what makes Powell such a great defender? Clearly he has the tools.
Yes, Kevin. He has good awareness, that's one. Lateral quickness, and he's very physical, and he puts that 6'11" wingspan to use.
Covington's shot is off. For the Los Angeles Clippers, they come in off a good outing against the Suns. Payne looking around. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Covington setting the pick for Powell. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
We see this every night from Norman Powell, putting on his hard hat and going to work.
Now here's Payne. Last game he had 13. Shamet on the wing. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. And here's Johnson outside. Another 3 for Phoenix.
The defense is in disbelief here. Triple after triple.
Outside Covington. It's Powell with the drive. Softly drops in the floater.
Assisted by
6 points now in the game for Norman Powell.
Strong move, then the soft teardrop. Powell's a sneaky score in the lane.
Payne dishes to McGee. Back to Payne. Takes it inside. And Covington sends it back. And so it's the Phoenix Suns in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And the three-point shot has been big for them. Back to the action after this word. And regarded as one of the best leaders in the game today, Chris Paul opening about how his team works together.
With anything, whether it's business, work, relationship.
And with this younger team, it's got to be easier for Chris Paul to lead as that elder statesman.
Yeah, at times in the past, veteran teammates didn't appreciate his constant input. Credit these younger guys, though, for soaking it in.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at the Suns' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Just stretching out the floor in that first. They had the defense scrambling.
Reason why, excellent spacing. They may not stay this hot all game, but hard to bet against them.
JaVale McGee is out there with Johnson. Then it's Chris Paul. Then it's Bridges. And it's Craig in at the small forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, mid-range jumpers are something of a lost art these days. They're still practiced by superstars like Kawhi Leonard. Coach Ty Lue said, why not work on the shots that teams are giving up? Down the stretch, mid-range shots win games. Playoffs, too. If you shoot it at a high clip, it's just as good as a 3 for me. Guys?
And they do shoot it at a good clip, and they rely on it quite a bit. David, thank you. And here is Johnson. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. And Paul puts up a deep 3 on the 3 off target. So for Phoenix, their last game, a loss to the Clippers in Los Angeles.
Yeah, in that one, the shot selection wasn't terrible, but they had to tighten it up. It did not happen.
They never really got into a rhythm, despite trying a few different things. Sometimes it's just not your night.
Passes it to Johnson. Paul is screen on Batum. Johnson against Batum. Phoenix needs to get off a shot. Bridges for three. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Bridges got 9 points. Greg, you played on one of college basketball's all-time super teams. Hard to imagine we'll see that kind of dominance over several seasons like you guys had at UNLV.
It's true, and we still see dominant teams, but, you know, the difference is now the most talented teams tend to only play together for one season, and so that makes it really hard to run together stretches where you can call yourself a legitimate dynasty. But I still love where our game is and look forward to watching these young men chase their dream.
And he can't bank that one in. Suns leading by 9, and the wide-open shot from Paul. Another three for Phoenix.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Now Jackson. He had 10 points in the win against Phoenix. And yes, it's good.
Man, he keeps doing his part. They just haven't been able to get over the hump.
Paul kicks to McGee. To the paint. Out of bounds. The Clippers take possession.
And a chance here to take a look at the numbers for George. Putting up about 24 points per, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. To have a scorer like him consistently deliver you points makes such a big difference for a team.
Because he gives you someone to build your offense around. You can count on his nightly production.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Ayton, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. Crowder comes in for Johnson. And it's Booker in for Torrey Craig. Jackson has the open look. Hits the three-point bomb. Jackson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Well, with Zubac's on the floor, you know what you'll get. Gives great effort when he's engaged.
Also, the plus is, GA, he does a good job of rim running. He also dives well off pick and rolls, and combined with his offensive rebounding, gives you some size in the middle.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Here's George. Nails the wide-open jump shot. George has got 8 here in the quarter.
He's hot this quarter, getting the shots he wants, and he's delivering.
Paul passes to Booker. Batum against Crowder. Bridges, no one around him. Another three for Phoenix.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Yeah, the defense has allowed him to get into a rhythm from there, and he's been relentless.
Booker with it. George picks him up. Crowder kicks to Ayton. Booker with it. Hard to imagine, but the stats are tremendous. Oh!
And once Booker has some momentum, get out of his way, throwing himself towards the rim off the drive.
And that's life above the rim, courtesy of our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. The 9-foot shot, and the rejection by Ayton. And the dunk by Booker.
And there he goes, Booker, shooting it off the vert.
Clippers trailed by 14. Outside, George to halt the run, and he hits the jump shot. George has got 17 now.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Here's the thing. He's a guy who will go on hot streaks for you over a number of...
Oh, that was something else.
And the intelligence. Love watching Booker operate in these situations. His decision-making has really improved over the years.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Here's George. And it's Devin Booker with the rebound. Paul surveying the floor. Bridges has been the guy making things happen for the Phoenix Suns. He ends up dropping in 2 from distance, making a difference from long range in this one. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Welcome. First up, let's look at the 2 guys who are each leading their respective teams through the first half. You've both experienced being the top 2 players on your respective teams.
That's generous.
Oh, you're saying that Kobe and Big Shot Rob are better than you, right?
No, I was talking about you, Kitty.
And now let's take a look at the excellent first half we've seen so far for the Suns.
They're getting everything they could ask for at the perimeter. Finding open shots, making the defense look foolish, honestly. You don't like to say that, but that's what they're doing. But that defense has to adapt. The threes will just keep coming down if they don't.
Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
His play so far is what fans love about him. He has gone right at the defense time and time again.
And not standing around, not settling for perimeter shots. He's looking to attack.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. And it's Paul with the ball for the Suns. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. So for the Clippers right now, the guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Post tandem for him, Morris and Zubats. And it's Batum in at the 3, the small forward. Pass to Crowder. From deep three-point range, it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And now another look at that mobile one-block defensive performance.
And guys, that is lockdown defense at its finest, going right at the shot and then able to knock it away.
Jackson against Paul. Jackson deciding where to go with it. Outside for Batum. Over in the corner, Zubats. Here's George. That one wide left. Suns leading by 14. Paul dishes to Booker. From deep. It's hauled in by Zubats.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
You know, we're seeing players move further and further back to create space, but that does make it a tougher shot.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Kawhi Leonard keeps it simple. He says, I'm trying to be the best player I can be. I'm happy with what I've done in my career, and I'm just going to keep on from there. It's not about being famous. It's about playing basketball and having fun on the floor. Well, he is famous, Kevin, and he remains focused on the court.
Agreed, David. It has served him well. Thank you. And good that time.
Yet another one for Paul George. He can pile up points without wasting possessions.
And we all know what George brings offensively, but it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor.
6 on the shot clock. Outside Crowder. Good ball movement here by the Suns. A nice shot by Booker.
Playing at his tempo, his pace. He's been dialed in all night.
LA timeout call. And then who wants a free t-shirt? Make some noise! All right, look who's coming out of the court. Come on and get loud for your Suns dancer.
look now at a few years' worth of data. Some of the assist numbers under the microscope for Chris Paul.
And the improvement he's shown as a passer is really noticeable. He's developed a much better understanding of how to spread the basketball around and how to keep the offense clicking. And he's a much better player because of it.
Clippers trail by 12. There's a screen by Covington. They double him with Payne. Pass to man. It's Powell on the wing. He's covered by Shamet. The shot by Powell, no good. Suns leading by 12. Johnson surveying the floor. And he banks in the layup. Johnson's got his second bucket tonight.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
An uncontested shot at the rim, you have to compete at all times.
Los Angeles with another miss. For Phoenix, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Payne finds Johnson. Back to Payne. Now here's Johnson. Into the lane, and there's the foul. It'll go on Terrence Mann.
That's his first personal
That is his first foul of the game. Hartenstein, he's checked in for Marcus Morris.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Here is McGee. Now the pass to Craig. Fader on the way, and the Suns tack on 2 more.
When you have space like he did there, you never go with the fadeaway jumper. He has to attack the rim next time.
Mann passes to Covington. Powell for 3. Good on the triple.
Norman
Powell's got his third basket of the night right there.
Fast-paced play from Norman Powell. Doesn't waste time finding his shot once he has the ball.
Driving the lane, Payne. And the layup's good off the glass. Payne's got 6 points.
A little artistry in the painted area, converting against the size.
Proving once again that when you attack with confidence, good things tend to happen.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
That's his first personal foul.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Phoenix.
What tremendous passing we've seen from them today. A very unselfish performance all around.
Couple that with just how well they've shot it from beyond, and they've made this thing look easy.
And the first one drops. Andre Ayton's checked in for Phoenix. Jay Crowder comes in for Torrey Craig. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Money from the stripe. He does a great job night in and night out.
Now here's Payne. Defense right on him. Covington with the steal. Pushing it up. Coffee passes to Mann. Now Powell. Five on the clock. No good that time. And Phoenix the other way now. At one point, they led by 16. And at 6'7" with a 7'2" wingspan, Robert Covington, Greg, comfortable guarding power forwards.
Well, he's accustomed to it. In high school, he was the same height, but only weighed 170 pounds. Even then, his coach said he was weak, but he wasn't soft.
Now here's Powell. He's covered by Shamet. Powell, the pass to Coffee. There's a screen by Covington. Rebound by the Suns. Ayton's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Shamet. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Shamet's got his first basket of the night.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
What it was, they are getting better shots, which has gotten them into a rhythm, and they're knocking down everything.
Here's Crowder. That one falls. 9 points for Jay Crowder.
And they're getting points, they're getting stops, and this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but they're tough to replicate.
Now here's Johnson. And so it's the Phoenix Suns taking a 19-point lead into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we'll be right back after this. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
It's just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are professionals. Beautiful play.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Clippers trailed by 19. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court for the Suns, Ayton is at the center with Johnson next to him. The star backcourt of Paul and Booker are out there. And it's Bridges in at the 3.
I like when Reggie Jackson is seeking out his teammates. He could have took that shot, but his teammate, he was wide open.
Batum against Bridges. He dishes it to Booker. Booker draws the double. Batum with the steal. To the middle. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Excellent pass, PG-13. Keeping his eyes.
Look at that.
Nice. And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. Nice job capturing the moment on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And George, here we go. Phoenix grabs the miss.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And it's slammed in by Bridges.
He can do incredible things. He can also help you win by simply being reliable.
George against Booker. Zubac trying to break loose. And he makes that one. George has got 24 points.
At 6'8", Paul George is a threat inside, looking very comfortable from in there.
Bridges. And it's slammed in by Bridges.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Here's George. Phoenix grabs the miss. Ayton's got 6 rebounds in the game. Bridges passes to Booker. And the dunk by Booker.
This is a guy who once scored 70 points in a game. Booker, doesn't take much for him to start percolating.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. Smitty last year at the play-in tournament, the late season really heated up. Do you enjoy seeing teams work extra hard to secure their positions?
Kevin, I loved it. There was no time to rest for those teams that wanted to fight their way out of the play-in. And like you said, at the end of the season, we had a lot of drama.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And Greg, you were a hard-nosed defender. Would you be frustrated by what they're calling a foul today?
You know, I would based on how I played, but if you grew up in this era, this is just the way the game is, and you have to adapt and adjust, and that's what you're seeing with the players. Guys can defend it every bit as good as they ever have. In fact, I would argue they're better defensively today because they're not allowed to grab and hold. So the league is focused on offense. The fans seem to love it, But at the end of the day, you still got to get after it defensively.
And both free throws good for Zubats. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Booker outside. Booker draws the double. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Johnson gets the bucket.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Here's George. Great player movement is always a constant in the NBA, but with more players on the move every year, the power balance can shift in the blink of an eye.
And we've seen it with the Lakers, right? Just a few years ago. The Nets and a few others. Not everyone, though, loves it, but it sure keeps things interesting. Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
It's been tremendous job of play calling and execution. They just continue to increase this lead.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
George against Booker. Bridges outside. He feeds it to Ayton. Shot clock at 5 over Jackson. And there's Ayton, and that's good on the assist for Bridges. And it's 7 points for DeAndre Ayton.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Here's Jackson, takes the 3, and Marcus Morris with the 3.
Senior.
And a guy with more of a mid-range game. Morris can still jack it up from deep if you give him enough space and time.
Here's Johnson, and the slam dunk by Jackson.
And ever since halftime, they played precision basketball offensively.
You know, the coach has had something to say about that. No question, they've settled in and executed brilliantly.
Cloak loose. It's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here.
Clippers ball. Clippers substitution.
And so here are the Clippers. Right wing, 6 to shoot. Here's Coffey. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
That's his first personal foul.
We're seeing a lot of top high school players opting for the G League over college now, Greg. What's your advice to top young players on their path to the NBA?
And, well, Kevin, I think you just answered it. It's their path. And I don't think the same path is right for everybody. There are going to be a lot of talented young men and women who want to go to college for the experience, for the environment, for the networking, right? You're going to make some of the best friends you'll ever have on a college campus. Having said that, though, some kids aren't in the college, aren't in the school. They want to just go and pursue their passion and their craft, and that's why I think the G League and the developmental leagues that are out there are so good for these young players.
Jay Crowder's checked in for Phoenix. Payne comes in for Aaron Holiday. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. There's 1:26 left to play here in the fourth.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Suns.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And the one thing that stood out about these guys all season long, their resiliency to come out and play hard and win games. We've watched some epic battles that they've played, and tonight will mark their 64th win in the year. Something else. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Mikal Bridges.
You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see his imprint put all over it.
Hartenstein can't get it to go.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Payne finds McGee. Back to Payne. It's up a 3. Another 3 for Phoenix.
And you know they feel good giving their fans a show here while taking care of business.
They're going to win by a nice margin. The effort was there all night.
Here's Coffin. And so it's Phoenix easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much with Chris Paul. Chris, a very convincing win, and that doesn't happen often in this league. So what do you take from this?
You know, one thing that our coaching staff keeps stressing to us every night is that it's about us. You know, so regardless of score, we got to continue to try to get better because we impose our will on the defensive end. The sky's the limit.
Well, the focus was there tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our New Balance Player of the Game, Mikal Bridges.
Fingers, one, no glove. 5 fingers, one, no glove. 5 fingers, one, no glove.